this team will be overlooked, don't have the eye candy, played for other teams that they didn't get the opportunity to really showcase. This Admiral team is a showcase team within the showcase league. So I'm ready.
What up, world? It's your boy Stevens Ramirez back at you again with another luxurious episode. Today, joining me here is Coach D of the Tri-State Admirals. How you doing, sir?
I'm very good. How are you, man?
I'm doing well.
I'm glad you're here, baby. I'm glad you're here.
Oh, thank you. It's like I'm really blessed to have this opportunity just to interview not only the players but also the man behind the Tri-State.
Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. I don't get no attention, so I appreciate this. This is awesome. This is awesome.
Yeah. Just seeing like how you got the photo shoot going, the sponsors and everyone just rotating and coming around.
Yeah, man. This was the best one yet. Okay. This was the best one ever.
My question to you, sir, is why Tri-State Admirals?
Oh man, it was funny because I got into professional basketball owning the first team that's come back since the Harlem Globetrotters, which was the New York Harlem Underdogs in the ABA. And the Admirals came around the same time I bought my ABA team. So I was always concerned about being overshadowed by another team because this league was kind of in competition at that time. Next thing you know, they surpassed every league that's going out now that the TBL is being the third largest league in America. So the Admirals happened to go and sell. They had two owners before I actually was able to get the team. And I've always heard about them. But they was always like direct competition. And one day, I got the call from Mr. Magley that the team was on sale, and I had a choice to make, which was like get my first home or take this team. And I decided to build something and buy this team, and there's no looking back since then. And this is my third year owning the team. I'm the longest owner in Admiral history. So 2 owners prior, and then me, and we're entering our 3rd season.
Okay, can you give an insight, like, not only just being the head coach and owner, like the pressure of just like, being the eyes and the puppeteer behind the scenes and making sure things
Hold on, hey, yo, hold that basketball, man. Coach is interviewing. I'm sorry, man. Leave that in. Leave that in. Now, if you edit that, no. Sorry, your question.
What pressures have you faced? Not only being a head coach and owner, but also being the voice, the propper, the sponsor searcher, everything and all in between, to making sure that this team is recognized. What pressures have you faced?
You know what's crazy? As any new business, and I'm sure you're that first year and probably for the rest of your career, but you're always gonna be the most excited about your project or your platform. And since I bought the team, I've just been trying to tell New York about what we've been doing and what we've been cooking up. And the pressure was a lot more early in my career. I didn't know how to handle the financial side and then still be the coach that your players need to love and lean on and mentor. So I think I've gotten a lot better at separating the hats that I have to wear to be the coach. So being an owner, you have to deal with those aspects, and then being their coach, where it's more about the player. So I think I do a better job now at wearing the hats differently and then not crossing the emotions, because I'm very passionate and I'm very emotional about this, but it's business at the same time. So learning that part is very important. Learning how to manage in the different helmets is important.
Wow. So as a head coach guiding an international team, how do you navigate cultural differences among players to create a cohesive and winning team dynamic?
That's one of the hardest challenges, because the coaching is very bad, in my opinion, in the world. It's and not just the coaches being bad in the world, because they have to be that way because they have to adapt to the new era player. This player this era is not as tough mentally as they were when we were growing up. So you have to be very delicate with the truth, and you have to be delicate with their ego, and then you have to be delicate with the false ambition, because a lot of guys want to be in the NBA, but they do nothing to get to the NBA. They have no work ethic. So that's the first thing. I find I have to destroy and rebuild a lot of basketball players that I meet. And then culturally wise, going across overseas, one thing that we get to inherit is the American stereotype of being a lazy American. So you go against players that know that they have a chip on their shoulder, they're aggressive, they play hard, and it's always good to see how they try to send a message back to the American culture. So I love international basketball. I think it's on the rise. I think some of the best players in the world are overseas, in Canada, Mexico, Dominican Republic, and their time is coming.
Okay, and and from my interviews with some of your players, from my understanding, they understand that you have the mindset of not only a coach but a player. So, from my assumptions, were you a player back in your?
Yes, I did play. I'm a New York homegrown athlete, man. Brooklyn, New York. Played at New Utrecht.
Okay.
Then got recruited to Hofstra. Decided to go low to D3 to York College. I played at York and Queens.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm a basketball head, man. AAU player for the AG Lakers. So I'm homegrown New York City. I remember the culture when it was tough. I was probably like the last of that Mohican era. So word, man. It's been really fun. But yeah, I got the pulse of the players. I take pride in that. I love being a player coach.
Okay.
Love it.
And what is the most unusual or unexpected coaching tactic you've used that surprisingly led to a game-changing moment on the court?
Oh man, it's enforcing our culture versus what everybody else does. We have a motto that I say here: mud versus Hollywood.
Okay.
And that kind of embraces the concept on its own. So we teach a style of play here that's not really out in the world. So I try to get my guys in game to trust their training, trust the system. And when they do that, we're unbeatable. And that's what we're trying to focus on this year, just being highly executing our system and what we're trying to do, impose our will on other teams. I don't really care about nobody else and what they're doing. I don't care about these NBA coaches that they have. If they got to see the Admirals, we want to be a nightmare all day long for them, all day.
Like from your position and how the vigor of your voice and how you feel, the passion behind it. Everyone always said, like, he's a very passionate coach.
I appreciate that.
And it's important to have that passion, but that passion with a sense of direction.
Absolutely. It's on purpose. You got to know your why. I try to make sure they remember that, and then, and everything that they do. I want people and the fans to say two things: those Admirals play hard, and man, they are tough. And that's my goal. If the fans leave out of there feeling like they got that experience, I'm happy.
And knowing that some of your athletes are close to home, how important is it to have a homestead, connection and
community,
support,
right?
and knowing that you can go out of state, knowing that you can go out of the country, knowing that hey, I know I got a place that I can come back and recharge,
right?
But no, I could take it outside and deliver the business.
Oh, it's incredible, man. Even us moving from Long Island for the 2 years we was in Long Island, New York, and we moved over back to New Jersey, new area, Elizabeth, New Jersey. So we're excited about the whole Elizabeth community, the whole town of Elizabeth. Shout out to the mayor, shout out to the PAL of Elizabeth, really doing their thing out there. Shout out to Elizabeth High School. But we're excited to be in New Jersey. We're excited to serve all communities, and it's refreshing to know that we're accepted everywhere we go. The Admiral style of basketball is appreciated.
What is the most unique or unexpected challenge that you faced as a head coach in the realm of international basketball?
The language barrier. I don't speak French. I don't speak Spanish. So going against those type of referees when you don't know what they're saying, it's a little bit, it's a culture shock and a disadvantage because you don't know. And the rules are different. The way they call the rules in America is not the same way they call the rules in Europe and overseas. A lot of players need to know that. It's a lot more tougher overseas and in Europe. So they call the games way differently. But the language is the hardest part. The language.
If you could trade coaching roles for a day with any other international basketball coach or national basketball coach, who would it be and why?
It has to be current, or it could be a GOAT.
It could be anyone.
I would say Bobby Knight.
Really?
Bobby Knight is my favorite coach of all times. I just recently stopped throwing chairs, probably like 4 or 5 years ago. I recently just stopped throwing chairs. So, but no, Bobby Knight is my favorite coach. Love what he does. Love his message. Hard-nosed, tough. I would have loved to have played for a coach like that. But yeah, Bobby Knight, hands down. I want to be the light-skinned Bobby Knight.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I want them to call me. Light-skinned Bobby Knight. Let's do it.
If you had to describe your coaching style in 3 words, what would it be and why?
Oh man, my coaching style in 3 words, I would say physical, violent, pride.
Okay.
A lot of pride, a lot of violence, extremely tough, and I think that just comes with being from the bottom for so long. So,
okay.
But everything we do is highly motivated. So I would say that would be my 3 things.
Okay.
Hands down.
Hey, just to expand on the violent part.
Oh yes.
Like we
yeah, not violence into street violence.
Yeah.
No, we're talking basketball violence, Admiral way. The Admiral way of playing basketball. We practice violent moves moves offensively and defensively. Our whole concept is violent, and that's just being extremely tough. Goes back to the toughness. So violent is a mentality that we want the guys to have.
I have asked your players why Tri-State Admirals. Why have you chosen to take the mantle, to take the flame, to take the shield and sword, to direct your soldiers into the path of trying to aim for the championship?
Well, I want to make sure I take no credit. I give God all the glory for what I'm able to do and what I do. And then I got a more scarier question is where would we be without the Admirals if the Admirals weren't here? And that's what I go into business thinking about. I even go into my league like, man, the Admirals is a team that's needed.
Okay.
And that's what I feel like I'm doing. I'm servicing a need, a group of young men that without this team will be overlooked, don't have the eye candy, played for other teams that they didn't get the opportunity to really showcase. This Admiral team is a showcase team within the showcase league. So I'm very excited and honored to be here. So it's purely a blessing.
Okay, I'm going to ask Coach D, the player, not the GM and head coach.
Yes, it's the player, yes.
Okay, if you had the opportunity to have your starting five at all, greatest of all time, who would be your starting five?
You know what?
And I'm asking as a player.
Yes, as a player, I got to give credit when credit's due. My first group that I've ever signed, 7 years ago, my first team, I wouldn't trade that group for anybody. I felt like that year, my first time, you're talking about the first time I'm an owner, first time I'm a pro coach, the first group I assembled, I felt like was all future G Leaguers, all guys that if we would have stuck together for 2 or 3 years, probably would have been dominating running New York City. But unfortunately, you know, we were all young, business and learning at that time, so that group really underachieved and how great they could have been. But shout out to them if they're watching. My year one New York Harlem Underdogs, that starting five I wouldn't take back. Christian Butler, who's still with me, 8 years, entering his 8th season. Carius Morris, Isaiah Hartley, Ruben, you know, we call him Rico, but Ruben, and Tashim Oakman. We had a great squad, man. That's my first 7-footer that I ever signed. So that first year team, I wouldn't trade, man. I love those guys.
Okay.
Yeah. That's a great question, by the way.
Oh no, thank you. And now I'm going to go into other divergent aspects. What is your favorite food?
Oh man, great. I'm a spaghetti person. I love spaghetti. Three different type of meats, proteins. I like my steak, my ground beef, my whatever else you could whip up. But I love a good healthy spaghetti.
Okay.
Very into that. That's a great question again. Nobody knows that.
Your favorite color?
Blue.
Okay.
Which is underdog. If you know my team, we're blue, and the whole color is blue. But we're blue. We're blue.
Okay. And guilty pleasure. It could be anything.
I would say junk food.
Okay.
I'm up late, so I think a lot. So I love to snack. My office, I'll have my thinking, M&Ms, my Skittles. So I'm a late night snacker.
Okay.
So yeah, that's a little something I gotta get better with. I'm getting older, so I gotta do better.
If you were stranded on the island, what would you take with you?
Oh, the generic, the politically correct answer is a basketball. No, but if I had to take anything, I'll take my brother. Me and my brother together we would turn those animals into fur coats. Be selling fur out there, snakeskin sneakers and all. So no, I would take my brother. If I was stranded, me and my brother would dominate the world.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
Okay, and lastly, to conclude this interview, what advice would you give for those who want to pursue into professional career of basketball or into the professional career of coaching? What advice would you give to those individuals?
I'm gonna give one piece of advice for both. For an upcoming player that's looking to turn professional, my biggest thing is something that was told to me is know the business that you're trying to get into. Don't say you want to be a doctor and do nothing medical. Don't take no medical courses. You don't even read doctor books. You don't know anything about it. So same thing. Don't call yourself a professional athlete or want to be a professional if you're not studying and modeling and really knows what it takes to be a pro. So just be ready. Be ready for the grind when you decide to step into the professional industry. And as a basketball coach, I would tell anyone that's coaching to not do this if they were interested in money, if they had any other ambitions other than helping and serving. I would tell them not to be a basketball coach. Coaching is a selfless job. I've been doing this for a long time, and like I said, sometimes there's no reward for it physically from the man or from even your own players. So you have to be on a higher calling, a higher purpose. You have to be about that, and that's important to me, you know. So I would just tell the players out there, be ready, be serious about turning pro, and for the coaches out there, love this. Do it because you love it, love helping. Don't look at nothing else if you decide to be a coach.
Wow.
Yes, hands down.
Thank you for that wonderful insight, Coach.
Hey, can I give some shout outs? I got to shout you out. Shout out to the show, man, for having us. You did a wonderful job with our players. By far one of our best interviewers of all my 3 years doing Media Day. So I appreciate you for that.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. And let me just shout out Nutrilite, our sponsors, our partners for the season. I want to shout out PXB Powerball. I want to shout out Tommy, who did our Admiral TV interviews. JV, one of the best cameramen in the world, man, doing his thing with us this season. We're very blessed. Shout out to Rich, our caller. Shout out to our players, all my players, man. I'm so grateful and humble that they allowed me to be their coach. And the fans, you, the people, March 1st, season opener. I want to see everybody out there, man. Teachers are free, police are free, EMS, everybody, man. Kids are free. We want to see you in the building. We want y'all to check out our product.
Oh, perfect.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Way to end that on the
Yeah, man. Let's go. Let's go. If I missed out anybody, I love y'all. I'm been working all day long, so this is a wrap. Let's do it.
This is Not For Nothing podcast. Signing out.
Let's do it.